Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
A Camp Pendleton Marine killed by a wrong-way driver trying to escape police. The deadly crash claimed the life of both drivers. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt. 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is live tonight. And 2 families were affected, but 1 man was responsible. Tonight, the wrong-way driver's family speaks with Anthony.
That's right. His family said he had some struggles, and certainly his court record reflects some of that. Police say he was going the wrong way on the 5 freeway when that crash happened in Carlsbad. Now, they say that he was running from police, and we're learning it's not the first time. Christian Zurita's court records show run-ins with the law since 1999. His most recent one was in August 2019, when he was then also involved in a police chase. He was charged with evading and resisting an officer and was due in court for that case on Wednesday. Oceanside police say they tried pulling over Zurita early Tuesday morning for not using a turn signal. Instead of stopping, they say Zurita led them on a high-speed chase on and off the 5 and 78 freeways. He started going the wrong way on the 5, crashing into a Pontiac Grand Prix head-on.
This could have been any of the vehicles that were traversing the 5 at that moment.
Zurita and the driver of the Pontiac, a 19-year-old Marine, both died in the crash.
He was stationed at Camp Pendleton. They're working on notifying his family.
Zurita's cousin released a statement on behalf of the family that says, "We hurt and mourn for all the loss today. We are in shock. Our sincerest condolences to the young Marine and his family. Our heart breaks for their family." It continues to say, "Christian was a great person, father, and husband with some struggles. We do not want this tragedy to be in vain. If anyone is struggling, get help. There are many resources and organizations available to assist. Our family is broken." Christian was a father of 7. 10 News spoke with his wife over the phone and asked her why she thinks her husband didn't stop. She said in part, "I think he panicked. He's scared of the police. He's scared of getting shot. He doesn't like police encounters. He probably panicked." Now, Zurita had a passenger. He's been identified as Jesse Sosa. Police say he was resisting command, so they had to use a K9. He was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. We're reporting live tonight. Anthony Pura, 10 News.
Anthony, thank you. Oceanside police chased the driver for 3 blocks, but stopped when speeds got too dangerous for them to follow.
The key is always to know when is a good time to stop a pursuit.
So we spoke to that expert on police activity. Paul Capitelli has worked with law enforcement, training officers on when and how they should pursue suspects. He says the officers did the right thing.
I'm not in favor of a strict no pursuit policy. I believe that the best thing a law enforcement agency can do is to put policies into place that will acknowledge that there are risks involved in certain situations.
Capitelli explained officers are more likely to chase someone who committed a crime over someone who made a minor traffic violation. And of course, we will update our 10 News viewers on any new information in this crash on our 10 News mobile app. There is a free version available in the App Store. Just search 10 News.
I feel so bad for the parents, you send your child out, let them go have some fun or whatever, and not have them come home,
Heartbreak in Lakeside after 2 teenagers were killed in a car accident over the weekend. A memorial is growing quickly at the scene of the crash. 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo spoke to the teenagers' friends who say their friend's loss is now helping save the lives of others.
Friends set up a memorial here on Willow Road with flowers, pictures, and candles. They tell me they're still in shock about what happened.
They're always going to be with me, no matter what.
Brian Green says he will never forget the 2 friends he lost this weekend. Green says the boys were Isaac Culkin and Justin Kite, both killed in an accident that happened on Willow Road in Lakeside Saturday night. CHP says the 16-year-old driver of the truck lost control, hitting this tree. Michelle is a neighbor who lives nearby and ran to help.
I heard tires screeching for a long time, and then I heard the really loud crash, a bang.
Justin, the driver, died at the scene. Green says Isaac was on life support until last night. Today, the hospital honoring his friend.
Because they were going to raise the flag Isaac had passed away last night, and he donated his organs to other people to save lives.
CHP says 2 other teens in the car suffered moderate injuries. The teens are former and current students at El Capitan High School. Grief counselors will be on campus Wednesday.
And I feel so bad for the parents, you know, you send your child out, let them go have some fun or whatever, and not have them come home, you know.
Michelle says she was with the boys until help arrived and wants their parents to know they were not alone.
I tried to, do all I could for them, and I know your loss is seriously hurting, and hope that you know that they weren't alone, you know.
There is another vigil planned for both boys this Saturday at 4:30 here at the accident site. There is a GoFundMe for one of the boys, and you can find that on our website, 10news.com. Reporting in Lakeside, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
Tomorrow, the House will hold a vote to send the articles of impeachment to the Senate. The White House has suggested that Republicans should dismiss the trial before it ever starts, but the Republican leader, Mitch McConnell, isn't interested. Moderate senators like Mitt Romney and Susan Collins say they want to hear witnesses. McConnell still wants a quick trial with no witnesses.
If the existing case is strong, there's no need for the judge and the jury to reopen the investigation.
Every Senate impeachment trial in history has included witnesses. You want precedent? Precedent says witnesses.
It would take 51 votes to have witnesses testify during the trial. Former National Security Advisor John Bolton offered to testify under subpoena, but the president said he may invoke executive privilege to block him.
6 Democratic presidential candidates were on stage together in Iowa. The group debated the ongoing tensions in the Middle East and health care policy, but one of the main issues was pushing Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders to address a comment Sanders says he never made.
Tuesday in Iowa, the 7th Democratic presidential debate had high stakes, but the shrunken crowd of only 6 candidates not necessarily leading to more aggressive sparring.
Joe and I have a fundamental disagreement here, in case you haven't noticed.
The candidates did, however, tackle the elephant in the room. Reports Senator Bernie Sanders had told Elizabeth Warren in 2018 that a woman couldn't win the election.
Well, as a matter of fact, I didn't say it.
The only people on this stage who have won every single election that they've been in are the women.
In the midst of looming tensions between the United States and Iran, the candidates spending an extensive amount of time on foreign policy.
We can continue to remain engaged without having an endless commitment of ground troops.
When it comes to Iraq right now, I would leave our troops there, despite the mess that has been created by Donald Trump.
Senator Bernie Sanders comparing his record on the ongoing Iraq war to that of Vice President Biden.
I did everything I could to prevent that war. Joe saw it differently.
I was asked to bring 156,000 troops home from that war, which I did.
But the moment generating perhaps the most interest happened post-debate. Senator Sanders appearing to offer to shake Senator Warren's hand, and she possibly rejects it, with the two then getting into what seems like a serious discussion.
The Iowa caucus is now less than 3 weeks away. The latest Des Moines Register poll shows Senator Bernie Sanders sitting at the top of the race, but in a virtually 4-way tie with former Vice President Joe Biden, Senator Elizabeth Warren, and Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Trevor Ault, ABC News, Des Moines, Iowa.
The Iowa caucuses are less than 3 weeks away on February 3rd. These are the first votes that will be cast, and the results will narrow the 2020 field. The New Hampshire primaries are February 11th. The Nevada Democratic caucuses are the 22nd. And this state typically has a high turnout with a significant Hispanic population. Then the South Carolina primary on the 29th could indicate which candidate is the strongest among black voters. And the California primaries are March 3rd, also known as Super Tuesday.
A local firefighting pilot ripped off. Thieves broke into his car and stole the equipment he needs to fly. Our 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena is in North Park where the whole thing happened.
That pilot lives right across the street. He'd parked his car nearby overnight, never thinking anybody would steal what they did. This is Michael Larch wearing his flight suit and standing next to the helicopter he flies to put out fires. That's also him helping to douse last year's Caliente fire in Otay Mesa.
We dropped to 780 gallons of water at a time.
But all that special gear he wears when working was suddenly gone this morning.
Unfortunately, the right door was open, cracked open slightly, and I saw right away some of my stuff scattered over the seats.
Someone had stolen everything from his car parked on the corner of 30th and Meade.
Flight suits, jackets, headset, yeah.
Larch says he usually doesn't leave anything in his car, but was moving it so another pilot would have parking and just forgot. Now he's out nearly $2,000.
It's all special protective, Nomex gear and fire retardant clothing, so they're up in prices.
He filed a police report, but knows chances are slim he'll get his things back. At this point, he just wants to remind his neighbors
that people just watch out, don't leave anything in the cars, don't give other people the opportunity.
If you happen to come across any of Michael Larch's things, which do have his name on them, please call San Diego police. We're reporting in North Park, Lindsay Pena, 10 News.
A local man was sentenced today for posting fake, inappropriate photos of his ex-girlfriend on social media. Cole Chandler was sentenced to 5 years probation and 200 hours of community service. Prosecutors say that after he and his ex-girlfriend broke up, he used a phony social media account to post inappropriate pictures that he edited, claiming that they were of her. Court documents show he stalked and harassed the victim for months beginning in 2015. Chandler apologized in court today.